Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Radnor Township Design Review Board meeting. Before we get started, we'd like you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just a couple of things before we get started, especially for the new people here tonight. Keep in mind these meetings are televised live, so when you approach the podium, please let us know who you are, the business you represent. You can lay your plans out at the table next to the podium, and please speak loudly into the mic so viewers at home can hear you. And a little bit of house cleaning for our board. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to look at the minutes from last month. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve is approved.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, and we have a couple items under old business, and our first one is Design Review Board number 2024-68, the application of Pietro's at 236 North Radnor Chester Road for awnings. Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Good.
Marty Jacobson, Foreman Signs.
Okay, good to have you here again.
Uh,
So you were in just a couple months ago, I guess, right?
yeah,
Okay.
right. I guess let me. A mistake happened. Accident here. So I guess originally we came in with a certain color. In the interim, the owner changed the color, called our office, said I picked a different color.
Right.
Nobody realized that he did that, and the awning went up. And of course, it's not what was approved.
Right.
So I have a before and after what's there and what we have there. So hopefully the color's okay. So this is what originally, this is what originally was approved.
Okay.
And then this is what we ended up putting there. And there's the picture of it done.
Did you get a formal complaint? Or?
Yeah, well, it didn't pass the final inspection. They said because of the color, it wasn't exactly what
Right.
we showed on the application. And we did, I mean, he's right. On the application, there's a little square of what it was.
Yes.
But
Okay.
one hand didn't know what the other was doing
Sure.
when he changed the color.
I'm ready to go forward with this.
Okay, and it's umbrella, just like you.
Yeah, it's umbrella, all the same, just a different pattern.
Okay. Tim, want to take it?
Yep, in the matter of DRB 2024-68, I move to approve the replacement color as submitted in the file.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you coming back.
I hope everyone else is that easy.
Let's hope. All right, next is DRB 2024-71, the application of Elegant Vapes at 362 West Lancaster Avenue. And this is a resubmittal for window signage.
Yes. Hi, Bob. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Tim.
So Brian was in with this application a few months ago. We approved everything, but there was a question on the window application, and that's why Brian's back here tonight.
This is what we originally
Brian.
presented
Brian,
right here. I did file these.
want to use this?
Yes.
Be easier. Thank you. Okay.
That's what we originally presented, and we had to represent this right here because you had said that you wanted me to do that in 12-inch channel letters, and we did that. However, what's in question is the edible THCA. Although this was filed, I'm not sure what happened to it. It got lost somehow. But we did not have this recorded. This was a handout that I gave you guys. But
Gotcha.
so I said I would come in and get this on record, on videotape, so that you have it. So this is what is there, and this is a picture of what is there as well. So it does match what's been filed with Lisa and what is actually there.
Okay.
This is installed?
It is, yes, correct.
Again, meets the square footage requirements, so it's pretty basic.
Yep. But just to clarify, they installed it without approval?
No,
Confusion.
it was approved, but it was confused because of,
I don't recall seeing windows in the application.
No, I think it was there.
It was?
Yeah.
it was
What you're saying
approved.
is in the hand-up that
Yeah.
came up while
Yeah.
it was here, not in the actual.
In all fairness, Lisa was sick.
I don't remember it
I
either.
followed it with a new gal in the office,
Right.
right at the desk, all the way to the left. And then I followed it again with Mary Ann.
Okay, good. All right, it's good he came back, made
Yeah.
it official, so,
Okay.
okay. Are you guys are good with it? Tim?
Chair,
Yes.
if I could?
Sure.
So for this particular one, the inspector that went out noticed the difference between what was filed and what he actually had up. The only difference that he noted was that it used to say V-Juice pods on that third window.
That is correct. Yes.
When it was proposed to us, that's what it said, when it was there for the board. Instead, it now says edibles, THC.
Okay.
He said that did not match, and so he said, you got to make sure this matches. We're not really sure what you're advertising here.
Gotcha.
That is why he is back.
Okay.
The main reason.
Gotcha, okay. So Brian, you are going to change that to reflect what you gave us tonight, correct?
Well, it's already
it's done.
changed
Yeah, it's
because
done.
I actually had that with me. The only thing I didn't have with me was going from the 15.7 inches to the 12 inches.
Okay,
I just failed to have it recorded.
Yeah.
That's
no sweat.
that's really what happened.
Well, I think we are asking if we're okay with that third window being changed.
You're talking about the contents of it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was his worry, that the contents was not what you approved as a board.
Right.
And so the inspector wanted him to make sure you guys were okay with the change in wording for advertisement's sake.
I'm good on it.
Yeah,
What was the old wording?
V-juice.
What, V-juice?
V-juice.
V-Juice pods, I believe it said.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, unfortunately, we all know what the store is selling, so.
Right.
Do we need these additional window displays? I don't know.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
it's the right.
No,
So as long as they're under 20, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather it not be there, but, yeah.
okay.
All right. What do you say?
It is what it is.
Okay.
yeah, if it's accurate to what is actually being advertised, that's the only concern that I would have.
Sure. All right. Ready to roll with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of DRB 2024-71, Elegant Vapes. Motion to approve change in signage in letter height and window display.
Okay, for your second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, Brian, thank you.
Did you
very
want to
much.
leave this up here?
You can, yeah. Thanks, Brian. Like your sport coat, looks good. Okay, also under old business is DRB 2021-21, the application at 12 Luella Court for one retractable awning. This was a continuation from last month.
Hi.
Hi, David.
Good evening, how are you?
Good.
This is 12 Luella Court. The designer who presented, I'm Dave from Image 360, representing Uplift Hair Salon. The designer who presented this didn't disclose that this was a retractable awning. So it is a retractable awning, it is black and white, there are no graphics or branding on it, it's just black and white. The township inspector wanted to see it, wanted to know if it was high enough up, and I resubmitted the documents to show the height. And there was a concern about the hardware being covered, so we put a shroud over that top bar. And if we need to add any additional shrouding, I'd be happy to do that.
What's it like when you say shroud, like a flashing?
Like a canvas cover over top of the retraction mechanism.
Okay. This is the black umbrella, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like a piece of black umbrella, exactly. And that can be illustrated in that picture right there.
David, the height from grade to the bottom of the awning,
Yeah.
any idea how high? It's got to be at least 7 feet.
I wrote it on the board. 7 feet.
7 feet.
When it's fully retracted.
Okay,
It's actually taller when it's up.
sure, naturally, yeah. All right. What do you guys think?
It's fine.
You're good?
Yep.
Colin?
Looks great.
Okay. Any other questions for us, David?
No, I'll see you later.
All right, Tim, want to take this?
I have this as in the matter of DRB 2021-21. Number seems strange, or 20, is it 2025-21? Excuse me, that might be it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Move to approve the application with the retractable awning.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, thanks, Tim.
So do we need to correct the previous motions?
That was, oh, right, we're still in 20,
No, those are the right numbers.
2024?
Those are the correct numbers.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good. All right, so we've got some new applications tonight. Next one being DRB 2025-23, the application at Radnor Crossing Apartments at 284 Ivan Avenue for some new metal railings.
Good evening.
Hello there.
My name is Neil Hammerschlag. I am with Scully Company, the owner and manager of Radnor Crossing Apartments. There we go. So basically, property currently has 172 black aluminum railings, and we'd like to replace them with white vinyl.
Great. Why don't you just give us a little preview there of the materials and installation and stuff like that?
So it's a brick facade. So the preference here is to not pin them into the facade. So similar to this, we'd have 2 outposts and a center post, 5-foot railings, which is, per manufacturer's, excuse me, I'm sorry, per manufacturer's specifications. And that would be connected into the framing, the deck framing. I have a picture of the community as it exists now, if you'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think we have that. If you want to lay it on the table, just so people at home can see.
Are the existing railings, the existing when you built the building? Are they?
We didn't build the building.
Or whomever built it, do you know?
I would assume so, but I can't confirm or deny that under oath.
Yeah, I think this property was sold a couple of years ago, and they've been in for some other.
We've been at that I've been with Scully Company for over a decade, and we've had that property longer than I've existed there, so we've been around for a while.
Right.
Give me a second here, sorry. I used the big paper and it's harder to turn. So in the packet that you got has all the detail, the manufacturer cut sheets and all that stuff, so obviously
Would this
we'll
tie-
resubmit that for permit, but for the purposes, we just wanted you guys to have a full
Yeah,
complement of information.
Thank you.
Let's see, this one might be a little hard to see. I have some more, but you can see basically the black railings on there. So it's not really going to change the look too much. It's just a little cleaner and more modern.
I forget your application for the dog run. Was it the same fence to match?
No, different yeah, same. It'll all match, yes, but it's a different contractor. So that's why you
I noticed that
haven't been graced with my presence yet.
in your application, you say install wood blocking. What's the wood blocking?
So the wood blocking is because we don't want to pin it into the brick facade. We want to put it into the, connect it into the framing of the decks. So there's going to have to be some wood blocking behind the fascias for this, for the connection detail. So we get the code required stability.
All right. Yeah.
And we have an engineer with contractors here just in case you have questions, but
Sure. What's the chances that you're going to find some damage once you take off the old railings?
damage for what?
Just the decking
So,
and stuff
so the
like that?
current railings are not connected to the deck.
Okay,
If there is damage to the decks, we have, it's our asset, so we replace the deck boards.
Gotcha.
But right now, the railings are side-mounted into the brick facade, and I don't like that, even in new construction. I think it's kind of wonky,
Okay.
personally.
And I guess the height is kind of-
Code required.
Code
I think,
required,
what are we,
exactly.
42 inches? 42 inches.
Right. Okay. All right. Tim, questions?
I think it would be a good change.
Colin, you're good?
Yeah.
Any further questions for the board, sir? No?
Yep.
Pretty cut and dry?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Is it your turn?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Matter DRB 2025-23, motion to approve Radnor Crossing and replacing all balcony railings.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
You too. All right, next we have DRB 2025-24, the application of Parker Wealth Management at 229 West Wayne Avenue for a monument sign and a wall sign. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
James Van Duzen
Yeah.
and Dennis McLaughlin.
You guys want to use a handheld there since you have two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Nice to have you here.
We're representing the new tenant, John Parker, and Parker Wealth Management on redoing signs at the location that were previously there when it was Reidenbach. So I'll turn it over to Dennis now.
I'm going to show I'll show you the new signs we're going to put up here. And what used to be there, I couldn't get it too good of a shot from Google Maps, what was on the wall for that, but this is what was freestanding there. Putting up the same square footage of sign that was there, but we're doing a small monument that is 65 inches high by 72 inches wide. And this will be a synthetic monument wall that's about 16 inches deep. And here you can see there'll be two steel poles up through it and then concreted into the ground and everything there. And then a carved silver leaf sign will be attached to that wall, that monument. And so we're replacing signs that were there in the same size and everything. But since we submitted that, where'd that other page go? Hold that a second.
Yeah.
They just changed the color of the top, the Jordan properties. Where did I put that?
That one right there.
So like, they wanted the top to be grayer to match the, like, limestone and the stone on the bottom, rather than have the white capping on top of the wall. And so that'll be in there nice and secure, and we're going to, what I did is I took pictures of the building, the stucco, the brick, and stone. There's 3 layers on there. So that's all going to be on the wall and everything. And then the property owners or the property board were very particular about that, and we switched the cap to a gray to match the stone.
Dennis, did you bring extra copies of that?
Extra,
And then change?
I might have some.
Okay, you don't have it.
Extra copies of the top, you mean?
The new color of the
Oh, yeah.
capping.
It's, I just have this one here.
Okay. Can you run it over to Lisa? Yeah.
Chair, there's actually several images up there we don't have and you
Okay.
don't have,
Okay.
just so that you know.
All right.
They were the ones that
They're good.
we have additional, I just printed out tonight before I came, so you could see what was there before.
so unfortunately, Dennis, I mean, it's a beautiful sign, but it's too big. It exceeds 30 square feet. So it needs to be cut down a little bit.
So make it 5 foot by 6 foot then. The
Yeah.
wall, you're counting the whole wall, you're not counting the sign. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a little too big. And,
All right. Right now, we're at, we're only 5 inches, 5 inches over. That's easy to do.
yeah, just if you,
Yeah. Yeah, we'll still have the stucco, cut down on the brick some, because there's not much stone at all. And we'll do it that way then.
and what do you guys feel about the wording on the sign? Got a little too much text there.
And the sign is urethane carved and silver leafed.
Is Wells Fargo Advisor Financial Network, is that a separate entity that's also at the place, or is it?
No,
That's what
they're part of that.
group. They're part of the group, so they're under the umbrella of Wells Fargo Network Advisors.
Kind of leave it up to you guys, see what you think.
Well, it seems like that's part of the name, kind of, almost, right? Yeah. The actual name of the business is Parker Private Wealth Management Group,
Correct.
but it's part of the Wells Fargo Advisor Financial Network.
There might be a clause that they might even have,
They might.
have to use it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, well,
I'm
yeah,
not against it either.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, okay.
Yeah, it's a nice improvement to the ride and block sign, even though the ride and block sign was fine.
Yeah,
What's the width or the depth, sorry?
The sign that's going on there is 1.5 inches deep, but the wall itself is about 16 inches deep.
I see lighting out front, is that existing?
Yeah,
or
we're
is it-
we're just using the existing lights that were there.
okay. Probably landscape can use a little help there. If you can mention that
Yeah.
to the board there, it's getting a little ratty looking, and it's,
Yeah, that was also taken in the winter, so hopefully the spring's making it look a little nicer as well when it's actually done, so.
okay. You know, the other thing, might be beneficial to put the address number. You probably have it on the building, but I think you'd certainly put the address on the monument, maybe on the brick portion underneath the sign.
Okay.
What do you think? Like it's-
Could do that.
Yeah,
Do that.
Yeah, just 4-inch, at least 4-inch, maybe,
4-inch high numbers for
Yeah.
EMS purposes
yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Okay. And I guess it's still understandable, like if we put, what is it, 229 or 299? Whatever the address is, if we put it on there, that's on the corner. So they're gonna confuse it with Conestoga Road, and
Because they're coming off West Wayne Avenue.
Right,
that's their
That's where
address.
that's where the driveway entrance is. This is out in the corner.
yeah.
They do have the number by the driveway on West Wayne.
What do you think?
I don't know that it needs to be on the sign
Okay.
for code. I don't think it has to be there, so you're right, it might cause some confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also out on the street as
Okay,
well,
well, if it's
where the
got two
driveway,
spots.
where the entrance is.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
fine.
I would just,
You're fine.
I would leave it there.
Yeah, bag it, yeah. All right.
This is a no turn on red, so.
Oh, you're up, you're up.
It's a no turn on red, so I had a little bit of concern with maybe a sight advantage where the positioning is, being 16 inches deep, but I don't think it's a concern.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna be at the same distance back as that existing sign was.
No, I understand, but you're deeper and taller, and
Okay, but there's bushes there too.
Right,
that
okay.
block
I'm
it.
just bringing it up.
Yeah, right.
All right. All right, so how do we want to approach this? He's too big, but Dennis said he's going to make it 30 square feet max.
Contingent approval.
Yeah, what's the game plan? Are you guys in there now, or?
They're gonna be in there on June 20th. They wanna have everything done by June 20th or before, so they can do marketing around it.
Yeah, contingent approval. Okay,
I'll take it.
all right, okay,
They can at least start layout, start the footing.
yeah. And so naturally, we'll need fresh copy for the township records.
Oh, yeah, I'll
New
adjust
new
everything.
Size, color change, and all that.
Right.
Okay, will that be enough, Justin?
It is, but is there a way, gentlemen, that we can walk away with, only 2 of those images are in any of our packets, the one to the top right and the middle top. All the rest of those are not in our packet. Is there any way we can walk away with those this evening so that we can
Oh,
make our
sure.
notations?
Yeah,
Do you have copies that can be given to us?
sure. I can give you those. I can reprint those.
Okay.
All right, good.
That's fine. We can go off the
Super.
contingent after that.
Okay, great. All right, good. So let's take a look at the wall sign then.
Okay.
You can walk us through that, Dennis.
That's just the wall sign's just like the sign that's on the monument, but smaller. It's like 44 inches wide by 19 inches high. It's a carved silver leaf sign, same urethane material, an inch and a half deep. It'll be mounted.
No lighting.
No lighting, no. And then, you know, it's just like the oval sign that was there before, but this is rectangular.
Okay,
Hidden fasteners and everything.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be concealed.
right. It's pretty cut and dry.
Yep.
Yeah, looks good. All right, what else, guys? Colin?
All right.
Good. Any questions for us?
No,
You guys are good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, in the matter of DRB 2025-24, I moved for contingent approval of the monument sign contingent upon the top of the monument being a stone rather than the white that was in the packet. The paperwork is going to be submitted here this evening, and reducing the size of the monument sign to 30 square feet by reducing the amount of brick that is located on the sign and reducing the size accordingly. Copies of the design are going to be submitted here this evening, and I move for approval of the wall sign.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Great, thank you, guys.
Good to
Let
see
me
you,
leave
Dennis.
this here,
Yeah,
or-
that's fine, yeah.
thank you.
Take care, Dennis. All right, next is DRB 2025-25, the application of Cocoon at 801 East Lancaster Avenue for a monument sign and 2 wall signs.
Good evening again, Brian Unoviak. I'm with Sign Studios,
Great.
and I'm representing Cocoon.
Hey, Brian, let's start with the one on 320. Let's start it with the sign on 320.
Sure.
The sign on the side of the building.
The location of this business is really on 5-point intersection.
The handholds up front there, okay.
Brian Unoviak, Sign Studios. I'm representing Cocoon. The business is on a 5-point intersection of Lancaster Avenue, which is Route 30, North Spring Mill Road, Kenilworth Road, and Alden Lane. The interesting thing about all 5 of these roads is they're all double yellow major roads. The position of the building is kind of unique. It's a historic building. And what we did is I sent our guys up there with the bucket truck because we noticed that there's some copper on the roof. Really beautiful copper. And so we took a solid piece of copper and we anodized it. We actually matched it exactly to the patina of the copper roof. And what we're proposing is doing channel letters that are made out of solid copper, that we are chemically anodizing them to get that accelerated rust look. And they'll be on a raceway. But we want to put it on the front of the building so you can see it, because the building is kind of it's kind of a weird angle. So when you're coming down Route 30 heading east toward Villanova University, you can see it. When you're coming west, you cannot see it at all because of the angle. So because of that, we're proposing 2 channel letters, one on the front of the building and then one on the side of the building. And This is the enlargement of the side.
Brian, you can bring him in a little bit. We've got a lot of dead space there. Just drop the papers, yeah.
That's that.
There you go, thanks.
Here we go.
All right, so like I said, why don't we start with the sign on Route 320? We'll look at that one first. Sure.
The sign on 320 is right here. And you'll see there's also a monument sign as well that we'll be addressing later. But again, it's a weird angle because there's a gas station right before there as you're going west. And it's the only place you could really put it is above that one window on that building. You really can't put it on the other just because it's on a raceway. And the landlord doesn't want us to drill holes through this historic building.
So it meets the square footage requirements. You're 16 square feet. You're allowed darn near 50 square feet in that
Yes, correct. I do have an update on the calculations page for you as well that I put together.
For that, for the 320 sign? Make sure Lisa gets one too.
Just wanted to give you those before I forget. But we want to do the letters 20 inches high for visibility, and that is, if you look at the side there, this one right here, they are 20-inch letters.
What is Cocoon?
Cocoon remodeling redesigned. What they do is they'll go into your home and they'll look at your space, and they'll come up with some really creative ways to make your home look like it's brand new. They use state-of-the-art products. They'll gut it if they have to gut it, but they'll go in and literally redesign it like a showroom. I mean, they do beautiful work. I'm sure you've seen their trucks around and their advertising. They do a lot of advertising. They have facility in Westchester as well.
Okay, so what do you guys feel about that 320 sign?
Frankly, I hate it.
All right.
I don't like the sign on the wall of that building at all.
Yeah.
It is such a cool, historic-looking building. I feel putting a sign on the actual stone denigrates the entire building and makes it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
That's my position on it. I do not care for a sign on the side of that building at all.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's a beautiful sign.
I have
But
no
it
problem with
yeah,
the sign. I think
on
and
another building,
taking
yeah.
the copper and anodizing like that and having to match, brilliant idea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I just think for this building, it doesn't fit the building.
Well, it's kind of hard to see it at an angle, but if you were to look at, I mean, the actual returns are all solid copper.
Oh, sure.
And also the face, if you look at, how it's depicted, the face actually, it's hard to depict that in a digital print, but it actually would be, I'll just let you pass this around. That's what the finish would actually look like. And it matches, if you look at the building, it matches the roof line, and every piece of metal on that roof is all, copper that is aged over the years.
Kyle, what do you feel about the sign?
I mean, the height is a problem on the one, in my opinion.
Right, we'll get to that. Yeah.
But is the height okay on 320?
Well, they're 14
Yes.
feet, so they make it. If anything, I'm a little
The letters are major monster letters.
for 20-inch sitting on the
Yeah.
road. Yeah,
I-
I agree with you there. Yeah,
Has this building had a wall sign?
I didn't think it ever had a wall sign. I think it's been financial institutions
Yes,
for as long as I
exactly,
can remember.
same
Banks
here.
have been going in and out of that, and yeah, I mean, let's face it, when that building was built, it wasn't built with the idea of putting a wall sign on it.
No, that's very clear.
Yeah, there was a wall sign years ago when it was a bank.
Really?
On the very front of the, of
Just like
that.
the little one, like by the door, right?
No, it was pretty big.
Was it?
Yeah, matter of fact, if you look at any of the signs around there, it's right in Villanova.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 85-inch channel letters. I mean, Villanova, right down the street, just not too far away, they have an 85-inch high channel letter, illuminated channel letter on their wall, a giant V.
You're talking about the corner of Ithan and
No, right on Route 320, where 320 rips around. It's 85 inches. I'll show you a picture of it.
So, Tim, I know how you feel.
Yeah,
What's the option? What's the alternative?
Where are you with the signs?
Okay, that's an honest answer.
Did you guys
Yeah.
make the signs already?
I took a tape measure to that, and you'll see that, it's 85 inches high, that channel letter that illuminates for Villanova.
Justin?
Chair, would it help at all if you had images of it oxidized? Do you have anything computer generated that kind of gives it the look of oxidation?
That's
Did you?
that's why I brought in the actual sample that I made in our shop.
Got you, but computer generation-wise, you have nothing that would show its oxidized way, like just how you imposed Cocoon up there in white?
It's hard. I mean, you can see it's green on the picture that I provided in your packets. Did you not get a packet?
No, I'm sorry, that looks white to me.
If you look at the letter, I don't have a side view, if that's what you're asking. But if you look at the letter, see where the O's connect? That's actually copper.
That's the color that it should intend to be when it's weathered.
Actually, that's why I brought a sample, because it's impossible to do that in digital. I mean, I've been doing
That's
this
what
for
I'm
40
asking.
years.
It's impossible. Okay.
It's really impossible.
Gotcha.
It's a rendering. It's not. I mean, if I would have made the letter and then photographed it, yes, I could do that. But this is a rendering.
Understood.
Colin, what do you feel?
So I think I'm okay with the sign on 320 if the applicant's okay with lowering the one on the front facade to the same height to match, on the same corners. You're too high on the front, right?
I realize that, and
So-
I'm high by just a couple feet.
You're high by,
That's something we have no control
how
over.
high is
anyway.
he?
That's outside of our purview.
I understand that.
Outside of the
I
100
understand
tax
that.
code
I do understand that.
so you're 3 feet over. Allowed's 15.
Right.
And you're 14 on the side. So in theory, if you match the same elevation,
And we tried to do that, Colin. I actually went up there with Tom, and we looked at, could we lower this possibly? And the problem with that building is the stones project at different depths. And where it could fit, it would be a seesaw.
you see,
Because-
go to your side.
The
view.
building is telling you it doesn't want a sign on it. That's
Hold
the
on.
building telling you it does
Tim,
not want.
Tim,
sorry.
hold on. Go to the 320 image,
Yeah.
and you see the roof line of 320 side?
Yes, we could lower that.
No, no,
Sure.
Just work with me here. So,
Oh, absolutely.
see where the downspout is?
Yes.
Now look how high that soffit is on the front elevation. Go to your front now.
Okay.
And you see the same downspout on the side? You're pretty high on the front if you match the same height. You'd be almost right below that window on the second level.
Yeah, that's where, I don't know if you can see, but where the red line is,
Yep.
if you go to the red line, you'll see where the stone projects. I mean, they really come out a lot.
Well, I mean, if you want it
Yeah.
where you want it, you're going to have to go for a variance.
And my client's prepared to go for a variance for the front.
Okay.
But I wanted to just show you the design.
So you're saying due to the uneven stone, you really can't put a raceway in that location?
You really can't.
keep
Yeah,
it
we
15 feet or
we
under.
went, like I said, we went back twice just
Right,
to,
okay.
because that's where
Then you're saying it would project too far off the building?
It would look ridiculous because it would be like a seesaw. It would just stick, it would be really high in the middle, and then the ends would be pretty far away from the stone.
You know, and to the applicant's credit, I don't know if this building is truly historical, because at one time it was on the market to be demolished and become a drive-through.
Really?
So,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
yeah, so
Okay.
like, let's be honest here.
Okay.
But
It
if
is an
your- if
interesting looking
Your
building.
client's willing to go through the variance process.
Yeah,
then-
sure. I mean, that's
That's
he's
his
entitled to do
decision.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
But we can't approve it as is,
Right.
right,
unfortunately.
right. But you would approve it if,
I don't think I would, I mean, I guess I would, you know, it's fine. I don't think my board members will, but
Yeah, the,
Right. Right.
so they're the exact same signs, both are 20
Yes, they are. They're the exact same signs,
I'm a
both
little-
20 inches.
I'd almost like to see the sign on 320 maybe made a little smaller. I mean, you're sitting right on the road, right next to that.
well, I think what they're doing is really a good way to mask these signs with the building. You know, they're going to blend well once they're fully oxidized. You know, because there's green undertones of the stone, so,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
they're
it's
not
a-
going to be
it's a
lit. They're
gorgeous
not going to be lit,
product.
right?
No,
They're lit, yes.
These are illuminated.
Yes, they're illuminated.
I missed that part.
There's a raceway with giant letters. Yeah.
illuminated letters. I mean, it's a very commercial-oriented intersection, so a
Right.
couple more lights isn't going to hurt it.
Okay.
But that's my opinion.
All right. So you're good with the 320 sign?
Yes.
The 20-inch letters?
Yes.
Illuminated? Okay. And I know, Tim, how you feel. Okay. All right, so Brian, going back to the sign on the front, is there any other location? Could he somehow put it on the porch? And maybe the way, I don't know.
Yeah, that would look weird.
I would almost not want to block the woodwork.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
woodwork's
that's
pretty
true. I mean, it's
neat, and
nice.
if you can't see it, but as you get closer to that, it actually has the date carved into the wood.
1892.
Right.
Really? Oh. Okay. Must be historical, 1892. Yeah. All right, so,
Granted, most buildings built then have been torn down.
yeah, okay. All right, so your client will have to go for relief to get the front sign potentially approved.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Why don't we move on to the monument sign and let us know what you have
Sure.
in mind there.
The monument sign, I changed because the client initially wanted to have a directory, and I told him that directories are not allowed. So
You have a new copy for us?
I do.
Okay.
And that should be in your packet. That's monument side. There should be a monument side A and a monument side B. Need a bigger table here.
No, Brian, we don't have that.
Can you see it?
No.
What we have is blank.
I mean,
sorry.
we have east and west, but they're not marked A and B.
Oh, okay, mine's marked. The one that's B is the one that has the east 30 sign and west 30 sign on it. You should have one in your
The
packet.
one where your hand?
Yeah, this is,
No, we
yeah.
don't have that.
Really?
No.
We
Okay.
have where it has the blank spots available for, looks like,
Okay.
almost like a message board.
But they're interchangeable.
Okay. Yeah, make sure Lisa and Justin get one. Okay, so that we have.
We have that one.
Yeah, we have that.
We don't have the the
Yeah.
one with the actual text on it that you're proposing.
No. All right, well, why don't you walk the one over to the, to Lisa? Looks like you got two of the same there. Okay.
We only need- Here's your extra copies.
All right, Brian.
Sorry about that. I thought that was in there.
No, no
That's-
problem.
I'm glad I grabbed extra copies here.
Okay.
So this is going west right here, and this is going east.
All right, sort of identical. Both sides are identical. Except for the address number, I guess.
What is the name of the business?
Cocoon. So this is going east. It's just a different angle. This is going west. You can see the shopping center behind. Again, it's just a weird. It's just a weird angle. The building is at a weird angle where, no matter what road you're at, you'll see one sign, but you won't see the other two.
Well, you're allowed to not to have the name of the business, you're allowed to have the phone number. I think that,
That's pretty much it.
call us today, I think, can go. I
Yeah.
don't know that we need that, so.
I don't know that the name of the business is Cocoon, then I think the rest of it might be outside too. I could maybe see Cocoon remodeling, but
Yeah,
I think
Well,
the
remodeling,
is not being-
reimagined is their tagline.
Well,
that-
if it's a tagline, then it's out.
I guess the application just says Cocoon.
Yeah.
Um,
They could seek a variance on what the sign can say.
True, if they're gonna go before a zoning hearing board. Yeah, I would say Cocoon remodeling with the phone number, or if he wants to add his website on there too, he's allowed to do that. So, yeah, call us today. I think that certainly has to go.
Yep.
What do you think?
That's what I think, yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Colin? Okay. Remodeling, reimagined, I think that reimagined probably would have to go.
I don't think-
That's-
yeah, I think
That's
the
not a
re-
name of a business.
Right.
Yeah,
Reimagined, and
Yeah.
call us today, probably have to go.
right. Cocoon remodeling with your phone number, and like I say, if he wants to put his website on there, he can do that. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's how he advertises his business. If you
Sure.
listen to it on the radio,
It's
it's,
just-
Cocoon Remodeling Reimagined. I mean, I know he's put a lot of money toward advertising his
yeah, in
business
the
that
code
way.
book, it's pretty cut and dry, that only the name of the business, website, phone number can be on a ground sign. So you have a little more leeway for a wall sign.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ground signs are pretty cut and dry,
Okay.
so. All right. What else, guys? Questions? It's a tough application.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
tough
tough building
location.
and a tough
That's
spot.
tough one. All right.
It's a tough spot. It really is.
That,
It's a tough one, no doubt about
it
it.
is, yeah, it's not an easy one. It's not cut and dry. like we said, when that building was built in, what, 1892, I'm sure they weren't thinking of putting, right, electronic signs on the side of the building and trying to retrofit signs on that building and stuff. So, all right. Brian, any other questions for the board?
No, I mean, if he wanted to put a tagline on below the channel letters, you're
It's not
saying,
part of the
No,
variance
no, no.
application.
No,
Yeah, you'd have to get a variance on that.
yeah,
okay.
I don't think we,
Pretty sure that's outside of even what the code allows for that.
I don't know.
Yeah, he really didn't want to do that. He wanted them to see the Cocoon sign and say, hey, what's Cocoon?
Right.
And
We have
then,
it on your-
you know, as they pull in, it's, oh,
No.
remodeling reimagined.
And all, I mean, like, using the copper, it's a great idea. It's a beautiful idea, so.
All right, you're on.
I'm on? All right.
You're on. You know what, Tim, one
take
other
my
question
notes.
for Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, that ground sign, is it an illuminated sign? Is there up lights or
No,
anything?
no, it's,
There's no light?
there's lights there already,
Yeah.
but it's not internally illuminated. It's just a spotlight shining on it.
Brian, you know what we need too? We need measurements on that ground sign. We don't have any measurements. So I guess, again, it's going to be contingent on the size.
What size? Yeah, we don't know what size
30.
the font is on there too, right?
Yeah, 30 square feet max for a ground sign.
Is that's existing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. you-
Okay, so that
You would
might
think
be,
it's
Yeah,
okay,
the interior, like, if it's already existing, you're
Yeah.
just changing the interior text, so I
Right.
don't think I have to worry
Okay.
about that.
all right. Okay. All right. So you're ready to roll?
All right.
All right,
and
here we go, Brian.
In the matter of DRB 2025-25, I'm going to take the monument sign first. Move to contingently approve the monument sign, subject to it being, subject to the sign only stating Cocoon Remodeling and the phone number.
Or website.
The applicant could add a website as well in the same text as what's already on there. Did we come to a conclusion about the size of the letters?
On the 320s?
Yeah.
I think you're okay with it, right? All right, we'll run with that.
And move to approve the wall sign facing 320. And move for contingent approval subject to seeking a variance on the wall sign facing the front of the building.
Okay, let me just, Justin, do you have anything more to add on that? Anything you're looking for from the township? I know you need some corrected plans probably.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna need some corrected plans. And for that wall sign, if we could have that correction visibly presented to us, that way our inspector can go out and do what needs to be done.
Okay, you heard that, Brian?
For the monument, rather.
Yeah,
For the
for-
monument,
Yes,
have that corrected and dropped off to us.
I could do that, sure.
That way our
Yeah.
inspector knows exactly what he's actually looking at.
Yeah,
And of course, for the one that exceeds 15 feet, you already know that that's gonna be.
I do, yeah,
a
yeah,
zoning
I do
situation.
that.
Okay.
I wish we could have made that work, sadly, but so many different variables with the way that stone was done. I mean,
Understood.
there's,
So when you go to present to zoning, make sure that your details are a little bit more than what you provided here.
Right.
As far as height and how it's going to be
Yeah.
attached, all of that, like, make sure it's a little bit more.
I have that done, I'm not sure. I'll probably find it when I go through this stuff, but I did have that.
Understood.
I'm not sure, I must have not grabbed the
That's all
entire
I got.
packet.
Okay, great. Do we hear,
My motion conforms to the comments by the township.
okay, all right, do we hear a second?
Second, but I will add that it might make sense for you to do the sign on the 320 sign before your zoning hearing, so you could provide pictures.
Okay,
Might ma-
Sure.
Might help your case.
right, okay, that's a great idea.
Do we hear a second then?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, all right,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, and Lisa, you have everything you need? Okay, good. All right, Brian.
Could I grab that sample back?
next is DRB 2025-26, the application at Glenbrook Medical at 864 County Line Road for 2 wall signs.
Good evening again.
Okay. So if you guys remember, they were in just a few months ago, we, I think, reskinned the building and, yeah.
Do you guys want this back?
Uh,
I don't.
You want to use it? Okay. All right. Okay.
Did you guys start the renovation?
That would be a question for the building.
Not yet. Okay, just curious.
Okay.
So I'm going to be talking about the sign at 864 County Line / Glenbrook. There's 2 different addresses, like, because it's like the front and the back of the building. My name is Dave. I'm from Image 360 in Bryn Mawr. We're proposing to put 2 sets of channel letters on the building, one in the front, one in the back. I have the letters at 10 inches. They're going to have white faces. And I'm also proposing an 864, which is the address, on the front of the building. And then, yeah, as you can see from the pictures, the letters on one side are going to say Glenbrook Medical Suites, and the other side just Glenbrook Medical, because the soffit that these things are going on is only wide enough for part of the name. These are internally illuminated. They're going to be remote mounted, which means they're going to be mounted directly on that cladding. They're not going to be on a raceway. And all the wiring is going to be behind the, inside the building.
Okay.
On the back side, what is the height of the sign from grade? Do you know?
I don't have it on here. Probably around 10 and a half feet, though. Similar to the front.
I know you got, it says, there's the 4-foot staircase up, and it looks like to get you up to that level, and then above that, we don't know just how far
It'd
above.
be under 15 feet.
Okay. Yeah, we'll need some firm numbers on that, Dave. All right.
Oh, I have it right here. It says 14 feet. It's right there. It's real small. It's hard to see.
Where do you see?
Oh, I see.
It's right above my 154 measurement.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. All right. I think it's a pretty clean
Yeah.
application. Looks
Looks
nice, fits the building, right?
Does that work for you?
Yeah, the building's going to be awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm just missing that dimension.
me too.
Could you show it to me once more? I
Yeah,
know
you
the
see-
14 feet gives us the width, we're talking height from grade.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was unable to find that.
Do you happen to know that?
15.
I made myself a little scale based off your 4 feet. You're about
He's got the architectural
you're
plans.
about 12 feet.
Yeah, to the bottom of that soffit
bottom
is
of
12
it.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 12 feet. It's 12. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. I'm good. Okay, can you have a clean plan made up there for the township files showing the 12? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I think it looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it looks good, so. All right, Justin, any other comments?
Before we finish,
Yes.
would it be possible to talk about the landscape plan and the lighting plan? In
It's
addition
not-
to the sign, or
It's
no?
not on our application for
Okay.
tonight, so you'll have to come back for that, so. Okay. But you're still a ways off from that, right? Okay, all right. Yeah, whenever you're ready. Okay. Well, like I say, on our agenda tonight, we just have the 2 signs, so.
Would there be anything else I need besides submitting the landscape and lighting
I would think that's probably just about it.
that you guys would need?
Are you asking with DRB? Is that what he is?
Yes.
He's asking with this board?
Yeah, with this board, right,
Or
right.
Anything else?
Probably just,
I can't even think how much landscaping is gonna matter too
Right.
much there anyway.
curious to see what he can come up with.
It's super minimal, but we'll submit it, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, great, thanks, David.
thanks, guys, thank you.
All right, good. Okay. Any other questions? You good? Okay.
The matter of DRB 2025-26 Glenbrook Medical, motion to approve 2 wall signs.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
David, okay. All right, next is DRB 2025-27, the application of exit 13 at 910 Conestoga Road for planter boxes. Luciano, we see about every other month, don't we?
Yeah, enough of us.
Yeah, really. I think you're our number one customer,
Still
you
haven't
know?
got samples either.
Okay.
It's looking great though, by the way.
Thank you. My name is Lucio T. Felice, representing Exit 13, 910 Conestoga Road, seeking approval of the design of the planters out front. They are currently there. They are about 5 feet wide by 3 feet tall, maybe 1 foot wide. This picture was probably taken about a month ago. We usually do a pretty good job making it look full and we landscape it well, help embellish the space. And the second reason that we really like them is add some privacy while you're dining. Otherwise, the cars that pull up, their headlights in the evenings beam in to the dining room.
I don't have any problem with it as long as
They're made out of wood with aluminum framing.
I'm sorry?
Made out of wood,
Yeah.
treated wood, and with aluminum framing around it.
I mean, I think they look good as long as it meets the health department's okay there.
Yeah, and you're not doing exterior dining, are you?
We are, but not at this address. It's in the adjacent property, which we'll get to in a minute.
I think the biggest concern that I have with this and the neighboring property and what I've been hearing from the neighborhood is a lot of concern about blocking off the access for pedestrians and making it really tight for them to walk through this section of the sidewalk here, because it gets really tight in there then when these are here. And pretty much if you're walking down that side of Conestoga, forcing people to almost have to walk behind the parked cars, which is inherently dangerous. So that's the biggest concern I have about them and their location.
So it's just not for the patrons, it's for just people
It's-
walking.
The neighborhood
The
is
neighborhoods.
having issues
Right.
with, that's what I've been hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, so here, between here and here, there's a clear 36 inches of space. It is private property, it's not a public sidewalk. But there is a good clearance of 36 inches there.
Justin, what's the code on something like that?
So for private property,
Yeah,
he's not worried about pedestrians for thoroughfare. Like that's not something he can be held to on his private property.
right.
You know, in that instance, he does have to meet 36-inch width though, which I have no proof of it because we don't have a site plan
Sure.
except for him saying that that's what he has.
Okay. Because I know in town,
Right,
Christopher's and all, they're supposed to have like 48 inches.
yeah.
And,
Is there any, there's no, and this is something I don't know, is the public right-of-way for sidewalk on that at all?
I can go back and check
Yeah.
just to be certain, but right now that comes to
Because that's
mind.
just-
no.
Yeah, so,
Like,
I mean,
I think you're doing a great, like, the building.
yeah, no, I appreciate it, thank you.
There's some concerns that I've been hearing.
Yeah, so Kevin and I, Kuchowski, had this conversation. The technical right away is behind the parked cars.
okay.
And that sidewalk is private property.
You mean closer to the Conestoga?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Is there a sidewalk behind the parked cars at this point?
No, there isn't.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Right.
that's where it should be, I guess.
It's,
technically.
the township's never had one there. but technically that's the right-of-way, because on the adjacent property, that's where the sidewalk is.
Okay. All right, what do you think, guys?
No, in terms of the boxes, and I get why you want them there. I get it.
Yeah, I think they look nice. All right. Anything you want to add to that, Luciano?
I'm sorry?
Anything else you want to add for the board? tonight?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, as they deteriorate, we might change them, you know, but we'll,
Okay.
if we have to, we'll come back. But
Okay.
this is what we've had for about a year or so more.
All right, okay. Justin, you're okay? Anything?
I have nothing to add.
Okay.
The only concern that I have is just when your patrons do get out of their vehicle, if your planters are in between those bollards like that, it now forces them possibly into the next incoming car. That's my only worry there, but that's,
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. It's, that one just happens to be there temporarily.
Exactly.
The moment I took the picture, it's not there right now.
so if that temporary one is not present, then that eases my concern.
Okay,
That would
yep.
be my concern.
Copy.
All right.
You're looking at the one that's the double one on the, it used to be the dining room from Garrett Hill Pizza, that side? Is that what we're looking at?
I think he's
We're looking at
mentioning the
small
gray.
planter, the small little planter
Oh, that
between
guy.
the
Yeah.
two larger ones. If you exit your
So-
vehicle, you should just be able to walk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what I,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's,
That's no longer there.
that's not there now. That
Okay.
just happened to be there. We usually keep that inside.
Right, okay.
Oh, I took the, yeah.
All right. Okay, Tim, you want to take this?
And then I see, like, is there any consideration for more pedestrian-friendly access to getting across that property or working through that? That's just, because I've been hearing about that, I've been hearing about the truck blocking the alleyway so people can't even walk when they can get to this section to get through. But I mean, like, I understand what you're saying about the private property aspect of it. I didn't know what your thoughts were.
On the,
I don't know.
Comments?
I don't know. This is what I've been hearing.
yeah. We've been hearing one complaint, and we've addressed it. We have an issue that kind of impedes on another issue, which is parking, which is why we park our vehicles in our own private property. But that's just a whole nother issue. I mean, yeah.
All right.
Luciano, what's with the chain on the bottom photograph?
So that's a chain that's just directly underneath the garage doors, so that patrons don't enter through the dining room.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not outside, it's inside the, inside.
Not a trip hazard or anything?
No, no,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
All right. In the matter of DRB 2025-27, I move to approve the application for the planter boxes.
Here, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, don't run off. You're on next. So, all right, next is DRB 2025-28, the application of exit 13 at 912 Conestoga Road, different address, one over, for chairs, bollards, and tables. All right. So the building's gone through quite a transformation, this building.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think you've been in at least once, maybe twice.
yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, it's looking good.
So I was probably here about 9-10 months ago. Seeked approval for the pergola and the deck. The deck is completed. The pergola is in permit process still. Underneath the pergola and along the pergola, seeking approval for the chairs, tables, and the bollards. The chairs are hard engineered plastic, as well as the table is. Tables are 4 tops that would go underneath the pergolas. And the bollards run parallel and perpendicular to the pergola.
Are the bollards more of a safety feature, or is it more of a design element? Or a little bit of both?
Yeah, they're originally designed to be a safety feature, but we may have to readdress that because they're not reinforced as I like them to be.
Okay,
So that's something that I'm addressing with the contractor.
so a car could run them over, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. What do you
So
guys?
is the restaurant active in this building at this point?
No, we're still seeking the outdoor dining application. It's a permit, there's a number of things in the air that are in process to be approved still. Yeah, so.
It's going to just be outside dining there?
It's going to be mostly outdoor dining, the purpose. The inside is very small. It's like maybe 500 square feet, so it's not very big. The main purpose is to serve exit 13 for parking, because it's got a lot more additional parking and the outdoor dining.
So you're using the deck for dining as well as underneath the pergola?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
So the building itself, is it being used for anything at this point or not?
no, it's been vacant for a couple of years now. Or
All right. Okay. So what are you thinking about the bollards, even though they're not structurally? Aesthetically, I think they look pretty good too.
What type of light is that coming out of them?
I don't know the exact voltage or wattage. I knew they were originally a little bright. We did receive a complaint. We lowered them to the minimal that it can go. Haven't received any additional complaints, but that I know of.
When you talk about reinforcing them, you're going to use the same ones, or you're getting different ones in there at this point?
If I can use the same ones, I will. If not, same exact style, color. That's the goal. I just don't know if that's feasible yet.
And the lighting from them is more ambiance than anything to do with safety there, because the sidewalk there is pretty well lit. Like, I don't think you need much more light.
Agreed.
than that.
Yeah,
It's the ambiance.
agreed, yeah.
All right, the furniture, according to code, on outside dining, the use of plastic furniture to satisfy the requirements of this subsection shall be prohibited. So you're really not allowed to have plastic furniture. So it's pretty clear cut in here, so hopefully you didn't order this stuff yet.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, all right, that wasn't, but yeah, they're looking for, wrought iron, steel, something heavy duty. I guess it's not gonna blow around in a storm, and
Got it.
so, yeah, the furniture you ordered, yeah, just not gonna cut it.
No problem. We'll replace it. I can come back.
All right. And again, I guess that's all gonna come down to the health department for the final say on a lot of this stuff, but. Colin, what do you think?
I think it's fine. I mean,
Look, here, Mike.
it's, he's done a great job with the property.
No, I agree, 100%, yeah. Yeah. I don't know, let me ask Justin this. Justin, on the furniture, because he's undercover, would that furniture be okay? Since it's not out on a sidewalk per se?
The code doesn't speak to
No, it
out on
doesn't.
sidewalk, under coverage.
Yes.
It's just direct to material,
Exactly.
not acceptable. So
Okay.
I think you spoke correctly.
Okay, all right. So, should we ask the applicant to come back when he has got his new furniture?
For sure.
Okay, let's do that. All right,
Yep.
okay. All right, what else would you like to add?
Yeah, hopefully it's all completed sometime this summer.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Well, it seems like business is going well. Every time I drive by, I see everybody, I see a lot of people in there, so, and I've heard good things. I haven't gotten there yet myself.
Okay.
But
All right.
it looks like the ballards, if you do have to replace them, maybe consider, like, because it's you know, purely for the aesthetic and the ambiance, like a lower light setting, I don't know.
Yeah, I think,
Because you got quite a few there right in a row.
yeah,
So,
if I understand correct, for me, it's more of a, you know, sleep well at night. I don't know. I don't think it's a requirement. I could be wrong, but if it is a requirement, you know, I'll definitely get it done, but I'm going to probably get it done regardless either way. But,
what, for them to be reinforced?
yeah.
Yeah, understood.
Luciano, if you want to get on next month's DRB meeting, which is June 11th, you're going to have your plans in by May 21st. All
Yep.
right.
Got it.
All right, gives you, what, a week or so? All right? Okay. Anything else, Justin? You're good?
I'm okay.
Okay, Colin?
Motion to approve 2025-28, exit 13, for approval of pergola, bollards, and outdoor dining, but applicant must resubmit chairs and seating for approval.
Okay, your second?
I think it's all furniture, right? Like, or the tables?
Tables and chairs both.
Tables are like a resin of some
Both
sort.
the same
Yeah.
plastic.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right,
Second?
then, yeah, seconded.
Okay, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, Luciano, hopefully we'll see you back next month. Okay, thank you. Okay, next is DRB 2025-29. The application is CO Surgery at 789 East Lancaster Avenue for canopy and signage. Hello there. You guys, you got a crew there, you want to use this? Okay. All right, man.
Do you have a flash drive?
Yeah, I didn't know they would have printed out nice color photos of that everyone's doing, but
We'll get you
sorry,
some.
Lisa.
They'll come out.
I didn't want to be difficult.
Get back there.
Mhm.
Are we loading on the flash drive right now? Or, oh, I see.
I just need to
Give me some-
know where to plug it in.
Yeah. We could introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm Yair Keshet. I'm the architect.
Brittany Lodato, COO of Cross Medical. I'm here to represent the owners, Dr. Kevin Cross and Dr. Ryan Hoffman.
Josh Kuzma, KMC partner and general contractor.
Great, all right. Nice to have you here tonight.
All right, just a quick introduction. I guess I was just making sure you guys can see it. Oh, there it is. Here, can you hear me there? Yeah. So this is in the location of the old Z restaurant. So we are requesting to put in a, this is the back where the Z restaurant entrance was. The patio, the tiki hut's gone. We are requesting to put in a canopy with a small sign off the entrance of the building. It would be only on top of the existing patio that is there. We would cut back the brick wall, and this would create a new entrance for the co-surgery main doors. Here's another view from it.
Can I ask what co-surgery is?
Co-surgery is a surgery center for plastic surgery.
Okay, so why don't you just kind of walk us through the, why don't we start with like the patio improvements? I think you're going to do some
Yeah.
changes of pavers and stuff.
Sure, both of them work.
All right, so the patio is existing to remain, and we're working with Canopy Fabricator so it's kind of like a semi-custom canopy design, so we have some ability to influence the design, but within a kit of parts. And so you're looking at basically a 10-foot clearance height that allows people to drop off and walk without any accessibility issues, just be able to enter the building. And also just the signage is just to announce co-surgery to, if you know the set of buildings, you're in the back.
Right.
And it's kind of a wayfinding signal here, so we'd have lit channel lettering, and in our drawings we're showing that we'd do the metal channel letters in the same finish as the canopy. So the canopy manufacturer has a standard set of colors. One of them is a dark bronze, which is actually very, it looks good. And then we're also looking to do an aluminum soffit here. So it's a wood look aluminum soffit with kind of a click lock design, or the canopy manufacturer also has their version of it that's almost identical, that is just also an aluminum extrusion that has that walnut finish. As far as lighting goes, we have these linear LED lights that are then flush with the ceiling, and then 3 lights up front. And this is just really kind of the geometry of, it'll be clear in plan, but the geometry of the drop-off is that there's a turn in the drive. So there's kind of a triangular turn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're seeing here in terms of this kind of post and lintel system. So then the lights up front just make it well lit where patrons, or patients will be getting dropped off. And you could see just in terms of the patio, we really just pretty much cleared it out. It's lost some of its, it's going to be a calm space.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we Yeah, so Bowler has done all of the site engineering in this complex. So they took a look and just helped us arrive at this accessible entry point. And then these are the drawings. So you could see it's, I want to say it's about 14 feet wide and about probably 25 to 30 feet long. And then, yeah, again, the height of the canopy is 10 feet.
Okay. I think that looks nice. I think it's kind of mod and professional at the same time. Yeah, it looks really good.
It's clean.
Yeah, it is very
Fits
clean.
in naturally with how the building is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Thanks.
Addition back there, plus it's on the backside that nobody ever sees. So.
Yeah.
Kind of shame. Yeah. Are you guys going to put panels and the monument signs out front, do you know?
We haven't done the rest of the signage design.
Okay.
We wanted to come here to present what we want to build for the entry point.
Okay.
And then further down the road,
Right.
work on the rest of the signage
We'll ask
package.
you to come back for that.
Yes, absolutely.
They should be. But yeah. Okay, you think it's okay?
Yeah,
as
we
well,
were-
please.
And talking with Provco, we were going to go through our signage package first, present it to Provco, and get their approval on it as the building owner. The Z sign is on the front of the building that faces the street. So eventually, we'd like to take that off and put our own sign up there.
Sure.
But realizing that'll be a different application, and
Yeah,
the canopy was critical to the path of construction.
okay,
The signage can follow up.
all right.
At least that's where we've always had it. Like, if there's the wall sign, they've come back in, but the monument, just replace it because it's all standardized black.
Yeah,
signs out there anyway.
I would say as long as you match existing, as long as that's, Justin, you'd be all right with that?
If we're coming back
If
for
it's-
the wall
yeah.
sign anyway,
Well, I think we can approve the wall sign tonight.
no, we just have the canopy, right?
Or the canopy sign.
There's a
you're
canopy
saying.
sign there.
I'm sorry?
So there's the co-surgery signage on top
That's
of
going
the
to be the
canopy.
only signage on the building though, right?
On that side, they're talking about for.
Oh,
basically
I
the
got
sea
you.
on the-
I'm
on the
sorry.
Lancaster
I'm sorry.
side.
Okay, yeah, then we'll have you come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, naturally. We'll have you come back for that.
Yeah, we're requesting the sign on the canopy tonight with the pic.
I'm sorry, a little closer to the mic.
Sorry, we're requesting the sign on the canopy tonight with the
Yes.
pictures and drawings that we've given. we realized that the sign facing Lancaster Avenue on the front of the building would be a different design, or not a different design, but a different application, and we would come back and represent
Okay,
for that.
Perfect, yeah, that's good.
But if the monument signs are already standardized with Pravco, then we can work with them, and get that together.
You all right with that?
I have no problem with them just doing that.
You're good there? Okay. All right, so the wall sign will come back, but the monument signs, as long as they match existing,
Okay.
you got her okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. And again, I don't know if you're hot to get that a Z sign down and your sign up facing Route 30, but June 11th is our next meeting. If you could turn it around by May 21st, we could see you next month.
Okay, I mean, I assume we can take the Z sign down without any further approvals. Is that correct?
That shouldn't be a problem.
Variance on that building already, right?
I mean, if we just take it down and leave the wall blank, I wouldn't put anything up.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, why
Well,
not?
if they're switching it out, it's a lot easier for them to get a variance. But that's,
Okay.
advised.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
One question.
So there, if you remove it and there was a variance on it, then the variance is gone, if that makes sense. Yeah, and that's why they're bringing up what they're bringing up. You remove something, whereas if it's just repaired or quickly replaced,
After approval.
right, after approval, then it's different, so,
Replacing a sign in kind is a whole lot easier than
yes.
taking it down and putting it back up.
Someone notices.
Okay, no, I appreciate I didn't think the variance would go away just by taking it down for a month while I made a new one, but I understand what you're getting at. So we'll just take it down and put it back up after we submit the design of the new sign.
Okay, good. Good call. All right. Okay, great.
The roof does drain. I see mention of drainage. Where does it drain to?
So the patio has existing drains because it's over a loading dock.
Okay.
So we're just channeling that downspout
One
to
downspout?
the existing patio drains. Yeah.
Where is that downspout located? Do you know?
It's pretty much in the center on the left side. I could probably find it in our plan. If you could see it even here, but we did show it.
I'm just curious, always just for,
Sure, of course, yeah. So it's on this column. That's where that note, I could zoom in on it if you want, but there's existing patio
I think I see it on your
drains.
site
Yeah,
plan now connected to the drain.
yeah.
But is it connected underground or you're just?
So
hard to
because
do it due to grade and slope?
yes, it'd be nice if it goes below the patio pavers. It's kind of a question of how that assembly is built.
Sure.
But we could just go in and punch through and then go.
Yeah. Because the loading dock is below those pavers, we're actually going down and going to tie into an existing rainwater leader that's already
Perfect.
in the ceiling of the loading dock.
Great.
Within the interior of the building, so now you have like a surgery center, are you going to put some directional signs in there, do you think, or to help people out with the traffic flow or not?
Directional signs inside the building, or?
Within the property?
Yeah, that is something that we wanted to get this through, but yeah, we are exploring, try to direct people to the back because, even with a Z, most people went to the front of the building and couldn't find the entrance.
Exactly.
When you're supposed to go to the back. So
All right.
that's one of the big reasons for the canopy, as well as being a requirement for Department of Health. But, when people come around the back of the building, they're going to see that as the monument.
Okay, all right. So if you're going to do some directional or instructional signs within the property, again, bring those back before our board.
Yes,
Okay.
we will do that.
Okay, great. All right. What other comments,
Sorry,
questions?
the bollards in the rendering, are they part of this application?
Yes, so we would have bollards just for safety. And
Non-illuminated or illuminated?
they're not, no, they're not illuminated. They're just they're shown as stainless steel bollards.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
for
curious.
safety,
I just noticed them, so sorry.
yeah.
That's a good question. Go ahead, pass that.
Do you guys have a separate address at that location, or is it? If so, it needs to be on along the walls too, especially with surgical center, make sure there's EMS equipment there.
I mean, it's the same address that a Z would have had.
Yeah, I don't remember if there was a separate one or how that works with that property.
It's what is listed, so it's 789 East Lancaster, and then there's Suite 150.
Okay, it's a separate suite. That's how it's broken out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good. Colin, any other,
No, nothing.
nothing? Any other questions or comments for the board? You guys are good?
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to see you with some future signage, it sounds like.
Yeah, we'll be back for future signage, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I don't know who wants to take this one. You got it?
In the matter of DRB 2025-29, I move to approve the application for the installation of canopy and a sign on the canopy.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Lisa, did you get everything you needed on that? Okay,
Yeah, their packet was thorough, so it
Good.
had everything
Great.
they showed us.
Talk loud enough, I just don't have my buttons on.
oh, really? Okay, all right. Okay. You'll get fined for that.
Thanks for your patience.
Okay. Next is DRB 2025-30, the application of Ithan Elementary at 695 Clyde Road. And you're here for two applications tonight, the first one being the demo of the modular classroom building. Sir?
Good evening. My name is Kenneth Morris. I'm Director of Buildings and Grounds with Radnor Township School District.
Oh, great.
This evening, we have Dan Bechtel, Assistant to the Superintendent, as well as Julian Pelikanekis with Breslin Architecture. So as you mentioned, we have two applications. This evening, we have a pretty in-depth, comprehensive presentation of both projects, but with respect to time, and we have it here on the drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. However, with respect to time, we can go ahead and do that full presentation for you this evening or address any specific items that you wish to talk about.
Okay.
So, I'm going to hand it over to Julian while we queue up the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, you can just pull it up.
Thanks.
Currently,
The only way to access it, I think, is that
those homes. Yeah,
there's a little one on the other side of Roberts.
right.
Hello, my name is Julian Polkanakis. As Ken mentioned, I'm with Breslin Architects, the project architect representing Radnor Township School District. So the first application was with regards to the demolition project. It's part of the overall new Ithan Elementary School project. It's one component of that, so we'll start with the demolition project first. Here is the aerial view of the Ithan Elementary campus.
Julian, would it be easy for you to use that handheld mic?
Would that, sure.
I think,
Is that better?
yeah, that's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So here is the aerial view of the Ithan Elementary campus. We have Sproul Road, Clyde Road. Are you guys familiar with the campus? So the main entrance driveway leads to the school right here, and then the building that we are here tonight to discuss is the annex building right here, which is the modular classroom building. And the importance of the demolition of this building is that it provides a space for a temporary playground during the construction of the new Ithan Elementary School. So we are submitting that as a separate demolition permit. This is the annex building here, two views, looking towards Sproul Road in this view. And this is the existing kindergarten playground, which will remain throughout the demolition of the annex building. So this is to demonstrate, this is showing the construction phasing plan for the new Ithan Elementary School. This is the phase 1. And as you can see in the legend, the demolition of the playground, or I'm sorry, the annex building to create the temporary playground is phase 1A of the overall project. So that is slated to begin in the summer of 2025 after the school lets out. So in terms of the approval process, we are submitting for the demolition permit. This is one necessary step in order to get that demolition permit. But the project has already gone out to bid, and the school district approved or authorization of the contract last night at their facilities committee meeting. So,
Modular building is in brown.
correct. And then as part of that contract that was just awarded last night, it also includes demolition of 2 houses on the campus.
What's the purpose of those 2 houses being demolished? Just curious. Part of the overall site plan?
Do you want to?
Just curious.
Yeah, so those are 2 residential properties off of South Roberts Road that the district currently owns. One was being rented out to a tenant. The other one was being used for storage. They're currently vacant. Prior, knowing that we're going to do this. They also serve that area there where the 2 houses are, also serves basically the routing for all of the new utilities, water service, gas, electric, and all that.
So will they become part of your school parcel?
Yeah, so during the land development, which we're actually on the agenda for next Monday night for final land approval, we do have a lot consolidation. So currently there's 3 lots. They'll all be consolidated in one and recorded in deeds office per requirements.
How long has the township owned those 2 homes? Are they a school district?
For quite a while. They actually owned them, then they sold them, then we bought them back. And
Right.
We've had them for a while.
Okay.
They're the only ones on that stretch of road, right?
Yes,
And
the
that
only-
road's pretty much going to be closed off.
Yeah, we'll maintain the access point off of Sprawl. There is a vault right off of Sprawl. We're using that entrance as a way for Aqua to access it, and then it also gives us an ability to access the back of the property there. There's going to be a couple manholes there and things like that, like again, the vault and some service items that we need to get to. So, but they won't be used for daily traffic or any purpose like that.
Gotcha.
Do we have that phase 1 plan?
So there's probably not. So when I put this
I was
presentation.
looking for it, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so I can make this presentation available. I actually have a printout of it, so I can leave that behind, or,
I was just curious.
yeah, so I wasn't sure what you wanted me to present tonight, so I put together a PowerPoint to kind of really explain the project,
Thanks.
because what we submitted was more just some landscape plans and the lighting plan. It didn't go into the details of the project, so there's more information than I think what you guys have in front of you.
Fair enough.
Ooh, that doesn't look right. So that created like a weird effect with this printout, but this is the drawing. You guys should have a copy of something similar to this. So this shows the actual scope of work for the demolition permit. So this is that modular classroom that's to be demolished, the 2 houses, and this is a temporary access point to get up to the annex building during the demolition. Another part of the scope of work is the removal of some trees, which are part of the overall tree removal from the Ithan project. So those have already been approved for removal through the Shade Tree Commission.
So for the demo process, you're going to come in from that South Roberts and come from the backside rather than coming down the hill down into the playground?
Yeah, it's the only way to do it. So right off of Sproul Road here. Yep. It's a pretty clear path.
Yeah.
Up to the building. Okay. Geez, I hope this doesn't do this to every. I apologize for the way this looks on the screen. This is showing the new scope of work, which is In the footprint of the annex building, we're proposing the temporary playground, as I mentioned before. So about a little less than half of the footprint would be hard play. So the material is more of a rubber tile. It's for basketball, and so there will be a basketball hoop installed, and the other 2/3 of the footprint would be mulch play area for a swing set, which would then get reinstalled into the permanent playground after the school is completed. So that's what we're seeing right here.
And this is to set it up for the 2025-2026 school year?
That's correct. Yeah, so it's kind of critical that this occurs prior to the start of school, because once this construction starts on the school, the playground situation will be taken offline.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, let's get going. It's approved.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so
I think that's pretty cut and dry, right?
First application, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, want to take that? Justin, any questions, comments?
Cut and dry, as you said.
Yeah, pretty much, okay.
DRB 2025-30, Ithan Elementary, motion to approve demolition plans.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, thank you. All right. And our next application is DRB 2025-31, the application of Ithan Elementary, 695 Clyde Road, for the construction of a 114,000 two-story school building. So,
Yep.
Julian.
All right, so this is familiar site view, but this is just showing the existing school, just to set this up, that this is the location of the new Ithan Elementary School, which will be built. It's an L-shaped building, so it will be built adjacent to the existing school, which will remain in operation during the construction of the new school. It's unfortunate that sorry about that. This is, I just included as much information. I wasn't sure what to present, but this is the overall existing site condition plan, the site demolition plan for the project. So we included some examples of the existing site lighting. So this is an example of one of the parking lot lights. And along the access driveway here, we have, this is the type of lighting that's installed. So the current lighting is it's insufficient. So as part of the design for the project, the electrical engineer appropriately designed the site lighting per the code requirements. We'll look at that in a little bit, but I just wanted to show you the existing conditions there. And this is the Phase 1 plan that you saw before. So as we discussed before, the Phase 1A would be the demolition of the annex buildings. The overall Phase 1 includes, this is the footprint of the new school here. Do you want me to go through the details of the project in terms of the layout, or?
I think however you want to approach it, you're doing a good job, so.
Okay. So you can see that this is the footprint of the existing school here. So we're setting the new school off of that 30 feet. And it will be built into the hillside. So the overall arrangement of the school is, this is the academic wing. So we have 3 wings that come off of the main corridor, which is a 2-story space. From the parking lot, it'll appear to be 1 story because you're entering in at that upper level. Okay. And then this wing is we're calling the core facilities wing. So this would include the multi-purpose room, cafeteria, and library. As part of the design, we have an access road that will run along the back of the building. That's for emergency vehicles to get to the building, so fire trucks. And as part of the review process, we have increased the width of this to 20 feet. And there is now, this is an old drawing, but there's now more of a turnaround for the fire trucks at the maintenance area, which is at this end of the building. A lot of this will make more sense when you see the 3D views, but just trying to go over some of the main features here. Lower than the access road down the hill is we have the main playground, and then down another 15 or so feet, we have open play area, which underneath would be subsurface stormwater retention. So phase 2 would be the demolition phase of the existing school. So once school lets out in 2027 is when the demolition phase would begin. And within this phase, it'll run from June 2027 up to September 2027. We'll have a partial parking lot installed. There's just too much work to get accomplished over that entire summer. So this portion in green would be the portion of the parking lot completed, and then as well as the bus loop. With the phase 3, which we're calling after the start of school, would be from September 2027 through January 2028. So that would be the remaining of, or the completion of the parking lot. And resurfacing the tennis courts, the existing tennis courts are going to be used as a staging area during the construction. And then we have a new ADA ramp that's going up to the existing multipurpose field. That would be completed during that third phase as well as converting this basin into, will be a open stormwater basin, which will then be landscaped during that third phase. This area down here is a sediment basin throughout construction. So during the third phase, that would be sodded and then turned into that outdoor play field at the conclusion of the project. And then we also have the milling and a complete replacement of the asphalt entrance driveway at the towards the end of the project, just because then all the heavy vehicles will be finished, and that's the appropriate time to do that.
So if I heard correctly, your goal is to have the school completed by the fall of 2027?
The school will be in operation starting for that fall 2027, yeah. It'll be completed May 2027. So
that was my question.
Yep. So we have an animation. I don't know if you guys want to watch that. It kind of shows you.
You're really making Wayne Elementary jealous.
Turn the volume down on it.
It's beautiful.
So this is the parent drop-off on your left with the.
Too late, huh? 2 years. You'll get it for 2 years?
So this is the main promenade approach with the multipurpose room.
Is that gymnasium on the right?
That is the multipurpose room on the right. We have some material finishes we can show in a little bit. That's the main entrance canopy with the school name and letters there. As we pull out here, this is that it appears to be a single-story structure with the kindergarten end of the building, that secondary entrance right here. And then as we sweep back here, this is the dedicated kindergarten playground off of that end of the building. So that's where the kindergarten wing is located. This is the access road, as mentioning before, with ADA accessible paths down to the playground. So in between each classroom wing, we have a dedicated courtyard space. Every classroom has a corner window to maximize views out to the landscape and connecting with the nature, the beautiful site. This is the main playground here in the foreground. And then we have a terraced outdoor classroom, which also is wrapped by an ADA ramp up to that upper level. So that's the ADA access down to the playground from the building. This is the maintenance area. These are segmental retaining walls that are required in order to address the steep slope requirements to prevent steep slopes on the project. And here is the bus loop, the new ADA ramp up to the multipurpose field. That's the open air stormwater basin here, which will be fenced off.
That'd be temporary playground, in theory. That's the location?
That's the location, yep.
What's the population of Itham?
540 students.
done, guys.
Thanks. Let's see if I can move forward. Okay, this is just a screenshot of that aerial view. Here's the site plan. I'm just gonna, the landscape plan, you guys have a version that is legible. I apologize again, I'm not sure what happened, but this has all been in front of land development. So as part of the project, we are replacing, I have it written down, how many trees. So 349 trees are to be removed. We're proposing 425 new trees. We're proposing 286 large canopy trees. As part of the Shade Tree Commission review process, since we are required to provide 685 trees per code, we are in a reforestation plan in order to make up that difference. So the property, it's hard to tell from here, but where is it? This large area here is a large wooded area, so part of the approval process is a reforestation plan, which I don't know the exact details about that plan, but that is like a long-term plan to deal with the majority of those trees are actually decaying or dying because of they're mostly ash trees, and due to the boring beetle, a lot of the trees are going to be removed just because they're already dead or dying. So part of the tree commission approval process was to reforest that area.
Let me ask you a question. You're talking about multi-surface fields?
Yes.
Basically, which is synthetic fields.
No, there will no. So when I say multi-purpose field, I just meant that it'll be used for
They're going to be
multi-purpose.
grass?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
grass.
All right, okay. Because I know at the middle school, they tried to put in the turf field, and they ended up putting in grass, which, yeah, okay.
This is just gonna be a grass field that has the water retention underneath it, but it doesn't have any special drainage for it, does it, or is it just?
So this field will not have.
No, that's staying like it is now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe slightly improved? Maybe.
Oops, I'm sorry.
So there's and we have our MPDS permit in right now for all of that. So there's a comprehensive stormwater management for this site, which actually shows improvement on runoff and stormwater management and stuff like that. Currently, we have multiple stormwater retention systems in this property that currently Ithan doesn't have. So we've got the exposed basin down there, which Julian showed. That's currently where the kindergarten playground is, temporary playground. And then we've got another large retention basin there under the what we call the multi-purpose field. But it is grass, right? So natural rainwater will leach down into there.
No, I'm just saying it's not like a special type of quick draining field.
No,
Exactly.
Nope.
It's not like any type of like the artificial
Yes,
synthetic field that you've
exactly.
seen. It's just a straight up normal field that has a basin underneath it.
Right.
With the removal and addition of trees, will the new school be visible from Sproul Road? Or will it still be masked how it is today?
Yeah, so the removal of the trees will not impact
Visibility.
the roads along, or the trees along Sprout Road. Those will remain.
Okay.
So the trees that are being removed, other than the ones that are dying or dead already, they're in the footprint of the new building. So we are trying to
Yes,
maintain.
the point of my question was the campus will still remain somewhat hidden.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a pretty large embankment too there.
Yeah, I know. I was just curious.
Yeah, so.
I didn't know how much dirt was moving.
Which I guess leads to the next question. Is there any impact on the neighbors with the new building or lighting? That, you're going to hear complaints or?
Nope. In terms of lighting, I can speak to the fixtures themselves are all total cut out, so there's no uplighting, and their backlighting is minimal, and so we do have the photometrics That one turned out okay. So it's kind of hard to tell or read, but these, so none of the adjacent properties actually
Okay.
will receive.
We had an
any-
incident with
Yeah.
a school in the township putting lights up that they weren't allowed to. So we're just making a point.
So the neighbors are on board with the plan?
Yep.
Yes. So throughout the process, hi, Dan Bechtold, Assistant Superintendent. Throughout the process, we engaged neighbors. We had forums where we invited people to come out, and the neighbors have been very supportive of the project. One of the things that that's really nice about Ithan is there's walking trails around there. It's really a great open area. As Mr. Pelikanekis said, you know, part of that woods is really failing, and so we're going to be able to upgrade that area where there's going to be better walking trails, better, you know, a better experience because a lot of those trees fall, and so they've been very supportive of the project. I think that the community's really said, the building's falling down. It's about time that we get something new. So there's been a lot of support for it.
I mean, this has been in the works for a while. Yeah.
It has been, yeah.
In terms of the property itself, I mean, it's a large campus, and you don't have that many direct neighbors to the campus itself. Like,
That's correct. So the acreage that we have and the position of where we're putting the building, it is really not going to have an impact because it's nestled directly beside the existing building.
I got to tell you, I was there the very first year it opened, 1963. Yeah, that's where I was when John Kennedy was assassinated in second grade at Ithan Elementary School, the very first year it opened.
my kids will be there when it closes.
Okay. And I got to ask you, and I'm sure you probably know the answer. I remember, you know, being in second grade, we all wrote our name and they buried it in a time capsule, and I think that time capsule was open a couple years ago, wasn't it?
So that's important information. I'm glad you brought that up because we talked about that internally, about that possibility. So we've been trying to research and reach out to, I know John, the principal, currently is in the process of contacting some folks to see. So if
You think it was resumed?
Well, I thought a couple years ago they may have dug it up and
I'm not sure of that. We could
Thought
find
I
that
heard
out.
that.
But if you have the location, I'd love to know where you
well,
thought it was.
I think it was Martin, 1963, in one of the sidewalks. I think.
Oh, so
somewhere on the
that
front
date
door.
stone is still there in
Yeah,
the sidewalk.
that's where that time
So
capsule is.
okay, so it's
underneath
probably still there because that
Yeah.
is still embedded and in solid integrity there. So
Right,
we'll
okay.
definitely keep an eye on it.
So
Thank
it's
you.
never dug up.
Great.
I thought I heard that it was dug, but okay. All right, my name's underground then. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What was little Bobby?
I guess, I don't know what I signed. I guess I did, Bob or Bobby, I don't know. Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
yeah,
Dating yourself, man.
thanks.
So what you see here is what we are currently specifying. It's a public bid project, so we have basis of design in our specs. It's a performance spec, so we might end up getting something slightly different than this, but this is the fixture. They are going to be along that entrance drive, and parking lot lights are this fixture circled in red. And the wall-mounted fixtures, same family from this company, but again, it's a basis of design.
The height of those parking lots, lights,
We,
I know years ago we ran into a problem at one of the office complex or whatever about the height. I mean, do they need to be that high? I forget.
yeah, so this is just a diagram from the cut sheet. I don't have the specific height that the engineer has designed them to.
Figure a school facility has height
I think it's
requirements
around
with
13
dormitories and
feet.
School buses.
Right.
Yeah, so the entranceway lights are called out as 15 feet tall, and I believe these are at the same height, so 15 feet high.
All right.
All right, so this is just the view. I brought some samples along, so this might be a good time to, I'm not sure if I can get this on the camera or, I'm just going to turn this off for a second.
So thinking back to the middle school when that was built, I guess, what, 15 years ago or so at this point? That had a green roof. Was there any talk of a green roof at this location or anything? Wasn't that kind of cutting-edge technology with the green roof and the geothermal heating system and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
so we are doing, Ithan currently is geothermal system now. We are going to replace and put a new geothermal well field in, so we'll maintain that type of heating system. We went through a lot of different conversations with regards of roofing materials and types and stuff like that. And with the HVAC equipment on there and the access to them, we did not find a lot of real estate on the roof to do that.
Yes.
So we kind of went a different direction with that.
Would you say that green roof's been a success at the middle school site?
I would say I look at it every day out my window.
Okay.
So if you drive by right now, it's pretty green. So
It's basically maintenance-free at this point, right?
Yes and no, right? Like, so there is still care for the plants, there is still weeding, things like that, right? Like birds drop seeds, so you get something growing on the roof that you don't want there. So you have to maintain it that way.
Okay.
Green roofs do have a benefit because they do protect the roofing membrane under it from UV rays, right? So we do expect that those areas under the green roof to outlive their warranty.
Okay.
As opposed to ones that are exposed every day to
Sure.
sunlight. So.
And another quick question. I know the glass has been controversial too on a lot of buildings with the bird strikes and stuff like that. Is that a special glass to eliminate a lot of the bird strikes, or?
It is not. It was not a concern. There's usually when that's a concern, it's a building where they can kind of see through to the other side. We don't have that situation on this project where a bird would be confused that, there's not an opportunity for that.
Good way to weed out the dumb birds.
That was Colin who said that.
It's been a long meeting. Welcome
And
to hour 3.
Yeah, and I guess the bird strikes are, I guess they're.
It's not our
I mean, but
requirement.
the downtown taller buildings and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I guess, with the confusion of lights and
Yes.
buildings and stuff, so, okay.
So you brought us some materials?
Sure. Yep. So
No birds, just the materials.
this is the stone that you see. This would be at the multipurpose room, which is on the screen there. It's a limestone from a quarry, Rolling Rock quarry. So it's going to be a blend of this gray color with this more of buff limestone. And it's really like a pretty neat, there's a stripe in this particular rock. So depending on the way the mason lays it, it's kind of like an art form. We're just going to make sure that there's a nice variety to the layout of the stone. The other material is this brick here, which would be for the majority of the school would be the brick. And then we also have a metal panel, which is, I brought a colored sample here.
That's a facade, that metal?
Yep, so up here in the multipurpose room, there's not really that much. I just wanted to show all the different materials, but so we have a little bit of metal panel here, as well as over here next to the clerestory windows. And then the roof screens, you can kind of see that's masking all those big units, would be similar material. And then I also brought glass sample, low E glass, pretty common. I'm sure you've seen many of those. And also the spandrel glass we have. So spandrel glass is basically just glass with the back surface painted. So it's an opaque surface. You get that reflection from glass, like a normal glass product, but it's totally opaque. So what we're showing, you can kind of see it in this rendering here. Above the sun screens, we have spandrel glass up here. The ceiling is at those, the height of these screens. So spandrel glass just kind of conceals what's above the ceiling there. And then we're also showing spandrel glass at the lower level of the multipurpose room here.
So the multi-purpose room is basically your gymnasium?
It's a gymnasium. There will also be a stage that's going to be used as an auditorium as well.
Both, okay.
Yep. I have an interior shot of that too. We can
And the storefront will be
Instead of a cafetorium.
like a
It's not a cafetorium.
Exactly. No cafetorium this time. Now it's,
There's a separate cafeteria.
The storefront color is like a silver?
The storefront color would be the same color as the metal panel.
Okay.
So it's all this.
That's like a Firestone product or something?
It's, what we're specifying is, well, this color is, are you asking about the color or the
No,
product?
like the material is like just like a metal panel, like a
Yeah, it's
Firestone?
aluminum panel.
Okay.
Yep. So what you see in the like this would all be the same color as it would match the metal panels. Here's a view of approaching the main entrance from the parking lot. So you get a shot of the Ithan logo sign, as well as the Ithan Elementary School letter signage attached to the top of the canopy. The underside of the canopy, we're showing a wood look, metal aluminum soffit material, which would then, the lobby space has a feature wood ceiling, so it's a continuation of that material.
That's a natural wood?
This is natural wood for within the building
Oh.
with acoustic qualities. So
That's not the underside of that canopy soffit, or it is?
the underside of this soffit would be a metal look or a wood look metal
Got it,
aluminum
thanks.
product. Yep, and so the planters that you see here are also double as impact barriers for because that's the parent drop off. We have a secure
Do
section
you think
here.
sorry to interrupt you, do you think the sign, the oval Ithan sign will be recessed in the stone or on top of the stone?
Surface mounted
Okay,
on standoffs.
got it.
And I guess we're going to have ask them to come back for specifications on the signs.
If it's not part of this package.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're not dimensioned or
right,
heights and
right,
stuff like that. So that's one thing we will ask you to come back with is sign application for the two signs,
Or all the signs.
okay? Or all the signs on the property. The
Directional.
two that we see and the
Parking.
directionals and parking and stuff like that, so.
And if you're changing the monument out front, I don't know if you are or not
That's-
also applied or not.
So there's two signs out there. I have to go back to the detail. Sorry.
Should hold up your progress.
No.
Yeah, so there are two signs out there at Clyde Road at the entrance, and I'd have to go back to the plans. I do know that we're doing ADA upgrades to the curbs there and everything like that, so. A lot of details to this project, and
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
sorry.
sure.
I'm sorry, I don't know about the actual, the signs,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But we're not looking at any digital signs or anything
No,
that's
no.
gonna be
We'll ask you to
lit
come
up
back
or anything. It's, yeah,
With a sign package for all the signs on the
yeah,
property.
we can do that, yep.
Okay, directional signs, everything.
And is that all just paved concrete?
This is paved concrete with
Yeah.
scoring pattern.
Yep, yep.
So this is looking at the kindergarten wing in the background with the impact-resistant planter concrete boxes there. This is the playground view, looking back at the main lobby courtyard space. So that's the outdoor classroom.
What would that second floor room be?
This is the library,
Oh,
Yep.
wow. It's nice, yeah.
and then the art room below that.
Amazing.
And then similar view, but further away from the playground, looking back at the building.
And I'm correct that the entrance that you were showing us with the canopy would be straight ahead up on the second level in this image, right?
It would be up at the second level,
Yeah, right
correct?
there.
Yeah. There is the overall elevations, which barely fit on the construction documents. We have to break it up into smaller pieces. That's what you guys have in your packets, I believe, not the colored version. But so we kind of touched on all this already, looking at the renderings. Just to reiterate, so this is the kindergarten area, this is administration, and here's the principal's office. The health suite would be right in here. And the main entrance, multi-purpose room, and this is the loading dock at this end. And then on the north end of the building, we have this is the music classroom, that outdoor classroom, library, art room, double height lobby space, classrooms, another lobby or atrium type space, and the other classroom wing.
Where's the cafeteria in the new one? I don't know.
So the cafeteria is on this end of the building, so it overlooks
Got
that maintenance area. Let's see, this is the cafeteria rendering, or elevation would be this portion of the building is the cafeteria. So you got two large full-height windows out.
Yeah.
I guess the trash and all is pretty well concealed on the building.
So that would be off of the loading dock, which would be concealed. From the cafeteria, you would not see that, no.
Okay.
This is a view inside the multipurpose room. So this is behind that spandrel glass. It's a masonry backup wall with clerestory windows above, and then the wood paneling proscenium around the stage.
Now, just curious, is that masonry protection wall, is that a true like cinder block, or what is
Yep,
that?
it's a 4-inch acoustic block at the, so the gray is the, I'm sorry, this is a ground face 4-inch thick masonry block.
Just curious. Thanks.
And this is, the white is the acoustic block above that.
Got it.
Also a 4-inch deep product. This is a view of that main lobby space with that wood ceiling above, with the double height curtain wall, with views out to the playground and then the woods beyond. And you have a glimpse of the library here, as well as the IDS room, which is like the STEM classroom, with some display cases off of the main lobby, so you can display the kids' work or art projects.
Wow.
Favorite class.
Really?
Bar. Yeah.
IDS?
IDS, yeah.
What's that stand for?
Innovation
Design Studio.
Ah, really? Okay.
This is the library view. We have benches built below the windows with additional book storage below the benches, and the main stacks down the center here with 2 teaching spaces within the library, like breakout spaces. So you have the, you can see in the background here, that's another area of teaching within the library. So that's it in a nutshell.
Will this make this school the largest elementary of the 3?
I'll tell you, the contractor who has the job to clean the glass is going to keep busy, isn't he? There's a lot of glass in that building. It should look great.
Will.
It really should look great.
Will the larger school impose new districting lines within the township?
So we do not have plans to redistrict right now, but this will provide us an opportunity if we would see an increase in enrollment to be able to move students in there. So the district, has talked about at the beginning of the project about redistricting, because we did hear from parents at some of the other elementary schools about the crowding there. But right now we don't have plans right now to move in day one. Now, depending on how many people move into various areas, the district could always redistrict at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now.
Options.
Options.
I'm just kind of curious. Like I mentioned, I was there very first year it opened in 1963. I knew they called it like a California-style school at that time, with kind of open classrooms. People would basically walk down, and I don't know, is it still that way, or is it actually?
The inside's still that way.
It's currently still
closed off as such.
Yes, it's currently still a California-style
Wow.
school. Yes.
Okay, with security issues and all, I figured.
Well, I think why it's probably not the California style.
You're right,
anymore.
exactly.
People
Okay.
stopped building that style.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Cool.
Which is why I thought, from my perspective as a parent here, actually, having the greenery in between gives you some type of connection to the outdoors still.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you incorporated the footprint of the building in the new logo. It's nice.
Yeah, that's our communications department. So.
Really nice. The footprint of the new school. As soon as you said wings, it dated me. He's dating himself. But it reminded me of the old high school, Radnor High School, with the A and B wing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. It's a neat project.
It really is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I think you know our answer.
For the signage package, some of the previous presentations, you mentioned that there's another meeting coming up in a couple weeks, or in order to make the cutoff for that June
It's
meeting.
going to be pretty hard probably to get it all together by May 21st to get on the agenda for June 11th, but
Okay.
you can,
And you got some time.
you got plenty of time. It's
Mhm.
not, yeah.
Well, I think we have it all documented, I just, was
Okay, yeah.
we just
All
have to
right,
put
well,
it together.
It would be next Wednesday to submit by.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you're
we'll
looking
have
for all directional signage, building signage?
Everything.
Just
Yeah.
like the dimensions and?
Mhm.
okay.
Heights and
Heights.
dimensions.
Height and grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Material type, stuff like that, so,
All right,
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful project.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, in the matter of DRB 2025-31, I move to approve the application for the construction of the new 114,000 square foot, two-story Iton Elementary School.
We're second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Lisa, you got everything you need? Okay, great.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, yeah, great,
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Lots of luck.
I hit the tail end of the one at Iton, what, 6 months ago or whatever that was.
Oh, the community meeting?
Yeah, I got there at the tail end of it.
Is GC selected?
No, so we plan